Hello, how are you? Hi. Can I get a couple more? Yep, a couple more. Welcome. Hello, how are you? Are you okay going?
Yeah, Charlie, it was nice. That's good. Yeah, a little.
Once again, if you just put your hand up, we'll have somebody make sure they get your program. Okay, the news is over, so we're ready to begin. Good morning, everybody. My name is Robert Frederick, and it's my honor to be the police chief for the town of Palmer, and I'm going to be officiating the ceremonies today. So, to begin with, we'll save that one. I had the Pledge of Allegiance, but our flag isn't up yet. So we're going to start with an invocation, and we'd like to call Father Stefan Niemczyk from the Divine Mercy Parish to the podium to deliver the invocation. Father.
I am called first because I am the closest neighbor from Three Rivers. And as you know, not only President Obama living in White House, I am living also White House. And that's the reason I am priest, so I have shared some short prayer. O God, in your wise providence, you are glad to bless all human labor, the work of our hands and of our minds. Grant that all who plan and conduct business in this new police station may, through your guidance and support, come to right decisions and carry them out fairly. O God, let the fullness of blessing come down from you, and your kindness protect officers and all who will be working in this new police station. Grant that their hard work may contribute to the perfecting of our society. May they content in their dedication to bettering our town and all our families in praise of your name, O God. Amen.
Thank you, Father. Just a few introductions before we get into the program. I'd like to introduce the folks that are sitting in front of you here today. First of all, you already met Father Stefan, but sitting next to Father is our town manager, Charlie Blanchard, Town Council President Phil Hebert, Town Council Vice President Barbara Berry, Town Council Clerk Jason Polanski, Town Councilor Donald Blaze, who is also a member of our Police Station Building Committee, Councilor Paul Burns, Councilor Mary Salzman, and next to Mary is the Executive Assistant to the Town Manager, Andrew Golis. To your right now, we have Reverend Bruce T. Prestwood-Taylor from Second Congregational Church, and he's going to deliver our benediction. Our State Senator, Stephen Brewer, State Representative Todd Smola, the members of our Police Station Building Committee, Roger Duguay, the Vice Chairman, Charlene Griswold, Clerk, Catherine Bousquet, Brenda Cole, Larry Corcoran, and William Lazat. In addition to those folks on the police station building committee, I had my own, where we had our own internal committee for the police department that helped us make some of the equipment selections and things like that, and I'd like to recognize them now, and I think most of them are here. Sergeant Christopher Burns, Sergeant Rodney North, Officer John Melnick, Officer Brian McNally, Senior Dispatcher Tammy Pihota, and Dispatcher Catherine Costa. The architect for the project was Reinhardt Engineering from Agawam, and they're represented today by the architect and senior principal John McMillan and senior construction administrator Mike Lizzie. You guys can stand up and say hello to everybody. And now wave, stand up and say hello to everybody. And John's here with his wife Sharon and his son Tom. Our general contractor is Moraes Construction from South Hadley, and Joseph Moraes, the president, is here today. There you go. The site superintendent, the site supervisor is Don Blanchard. And our owner's project manager was CDR McGuire Incorporated, and they're represented today by Tony DeLuzio. There you are, Tony, in the back over there. And our project manager, senior project manager for the company, and our project manager for CDR McGuire is Chris Lawson. All right, into the program. Our first speaker clearly is no stranger to anyone here in our part of the state. He's ever present. He's a bundle of energy. I don't know sometimes where he gets his energy from, because he has one of the largest Senate districts in the state. So we're happy when he can come to pay us a visit. And I'm sure most of you know by now that he's announced that he's not going to be running for re-election this fall. So we're going to have a new senator, and his replacement is certainly going to have tough shoes to fill. But he served in the legislature in various capacities for the last 35 years, starting as an aide, then a representative, and finally as a senator. And he's currently the chairman of the Senate Ways and Means Committee. He's just amazing to work with, always supportive of law enforcement. So please join me in a rousing round of applause as I call forward Senator Stephen M. Brewer.
Thank you, Chief Frederick, and thank you for those very, very good words. And of all of the people that I am happy for on this glorious day, it is you, Chief Frederick. You have worked so hard. The passion for you to build this police station, your family's support to do this, and your support of this community, whether you're wearing the Chief of Police uniform or you're working on the band across the street as well. Congratulations to you. I'm happy for you today, Chief. Trust me, ladies and gentlemen, the punch list on a construction project of this complexity is very daunting. Many times at events like this, political figures can stand up and preen on about all that they have done to build this building. Let the record show right now, this building was done by the people of Palmer, not by the federal or state government. You're the ones who built this police station. And as I look around at the police station, I think of what would Chief Olson or Chief Case say about this building? I have fond memories of the municipal building. One of the very first photographs ever taken of me was when Mike Dukakis came here in 1981, when the whole issue of IT in Warren, if you remember that, in I believe it's room 8 where the council meets. And there's a black and white picture of me standing in the back. The newspaper is all yellow. Many years I did office hours for Senator Wetmore down here. And I remember when there was a courthouse in there and so many other things. But when you build a new police station with state-of-the-art technology for the citizens of your community, you re-energize this police force as well. You let them know that what they do is important. And God knows it is important. The first line of defense in our society. Because those cruisers are faster than the fire department, but we know that the good firefighters are here today as well. And what they see is things that we are better off, perhaps many times, not seeing. And we are ennobled by their service, the men and women who serve in our law enforcement community. Yesterday, I spent 16 hours at my big table in the Senate Ways and Means Committee working on the entire state budget. You will see from the Senate Ways and Means budget the highest commitment in years for municipal police training. It is that important that we give the tools to our law enforcement community. This is a shiny and wonderful and beautiful day, but the scourge of opiate addiction that is out there in our society now that is breaking families, oftentimes it was thought of as an inner city problem, but it is now in our suburbs, in our rural areas as well. When the governor of Vermont, Peter Shumlin, this is Vermont, dedicated his entire State of the State speech, in Vermont again, on opiate addiction, the entire speech. And we have a lot of work that we have to do collectively as a society on the state, federal, and municipal level. A couple of things that I did want to mention today, other than the public safety accounts, is that community policing is something that is hugely important. Prevention is hugely important. And lifetime learning is hugely important. And Representative Smola and I announced earlier this week, first of all, for lifetime learning, right down on Route 20, the Yellow House, for $25,000 in a grant program to continue the programs at the Yellow House in Palmer. And secondly, at Endelson Park in Bondsville, we're going to be doing a grant of $20,000 to increase and help that playground, keeping kids busy, keeping them in productive activities. You know what it was like, those of you who comb gray hair or what little hair like I have on your head, that what parents did in our communities, in kids playing ball on athletic fields and being actively engaged, we know it isn't rocket science, but it is investing in our kids so they don't have to confront law enforcement, so that they can be productive members of our society. So remember that. And what we do to step up to the plate, 2 weeks ago or so, we lost a law enforcement official in Plymouth. And we will, in our budget, make sure that when the heinous event of the loss of a law enforcement official happens, that your Commonwealth will pay for the college education of their children. We will step up to the plate to make sure that those sacrifices are recognized by the entire Commonwealth of Massachusetts. It's what we ought to do for a society. So as I conclude my career, and I will be here on many more occasions between now, Father, I will be down at the Polish picnic as well. And I will tell you, Father Stefan, I am an Irish Catholic, and he is my all-time favorite priest. Father Stefan, I love you very much. So to all of you, today is your day. This is a great day for the town of Palmer. Put your hands together for yourself for this day. Thank you very much. And even the dog agrees with me. So what I have a couple of things. First of all, and I'm sure that Representative Smola did this as well, because if you frame them, they have a more lasting legacy. And this is an official citation for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Be it known, the Massachusetts Senate extends its congratulations to the Palmer Police Department and the citizens of Palmer in recognition of the joyous occasion of the dedication of your new and state-of-the-art headquarters. Congratulations, Chief Frederick. Tom? We'll wait for you. Come on over here. When you have a Kodak moment, you make time. And secondly, because you have a beautiful flagpole and we have a beautiful flag, and I am remembered, how many times did I come to Palmer on June 14th because of the legendary patriot and American Peter Pappas. In honor of Peter Pappas, I present you with your first flag for your flagpole.
Thank you, Senator. It's my honor to accept your citation and also the flag in Peter Pappas' memory, and I concur. He was a great gentleman and a true patriot. I'd next like to introduce our representative of the 1st Hampden District, Representative Todd Smola. And Todd's assistance was extremely invaluable in the campaign for funding for the new police station. He gave us great advice on how to approach the issue politically. He also arranged support from the business community. Todd was born and raised in Three Rivers, and he was only torn from Palmer by the love of his life. He's recently married. I think he's recently celebrated his 1-year anniversary. Is that correct? So he's a family man now, and we're all happy about that. And once again, he too is always very supportive of law enforcement. Now, unfortunately, Senator Brewer cut into his time, so he's not going to be able to say anything. But I'm kidding, of course. It's my pleasure to introduce you our State Representative Todd M. Smola.
When you serve with Steve Brewer, it's an occupational hazard that he cuts into your time. So I just want you all to know about that. Thank you so much for having me here. It's wonderful to be back in my hometown for this occasion. And thank you to Senator Stephen Brewer. This will be one of the last, if not the last, police station official dedication that he'll be doing in his career. But we know that he's had a lot in his time and his service, and he has been the best senator that the Commonwealth of Massachusetts has ever had. He also officiated my wedding, and I'm happy to say that I'm still married. So thank you, Senator Stephen Brewer. That means something. You know, when I started my career in politics, it was up at this building on the planning board and on the Board of Selectmen. And this project, as many people in Palmer know, had a really tough history. And if at first you don't succeed, you try and you try again, and eventually you get there. And people that came together that didn't quit on this project, this building is the reality of that effort. We know that the first time this came before the voters, it was on 9/11, the actual 9/11, which literally changed the face of this community and the face of the world. And after that, when we realized the police station question had failed, we didn't think that we'd be revisiting it anytime soon. And in years past, we spent a lot of time, the chief and I, talking about how this issue could be resurrected, how we could get it moving forward again, how the reality of it could happen. And through some diligence, through some good people, through the committee, through your leadership here in the town, everybody joined forces, and ultimately this became what it is today. This is a state-of-the-art facility. And let me say something about the police officers and the staff of the Palmer Police Department. The vast majority of the public never walks into the police station. They've got no reason to. So we take for granted the surroundings that they work in. But if you haven't been in that trailer that's right behind you, that's been the police department for so many years. And that's where the staff and the officers of the Palmer PD have been working, doing their job on a daily basis. It's been tough, it hasn't been easy, but I'm proud to say for them, they have done an outstanding job in limited facilities with limited resources. And now they have a building that they can be proud of and that this community can be proud of, because we've finally brought them up to the standards of modern times. This is what they deserve as well, to do the very best of their ability and represent the people of this town. You know, we're grateful that the police department is there when we need them, but we hope we don't ever have to call them. And through the officers that are standing behind me, they are what the town of Palmer really is. They stand for what this community is all about. So to have the support from the town means so much. And just to let you know that after the tour is taking place here, that trailer is going up for sale if anybody wants to make a bid on it. So that trailer is going to be removed, Chief, right? I think it's going to be removed relatively soon. So you're going to see a different face from the back of this building. And take time to go into this building today. As I said, you may not have been in that building, and very likely you have no reason to come to this police department either. Take time to walk through it. You will see a facility that your tax dollars have paid for that will move this community into this century for many generations to come because of the effort that stood behind it. I want to send a special thank you out to the chief as well, who never gave up on it, who was willing to try and try again to bring this before the voters, and also to Charlie Blanchard, our town manager, who had the vision to bring this back forward before the people in this community, and the town finally stood behind a really good project, something that you can be proud of. So, Chief, I'm happy to bring you a recognition from the Massachusetts House of Representatives, which is to the Palmer Police Department and the Palmer Police Station Building Committee, in recognition of the auspicious occasion of your grand opening and the joyous celebration honoring your hard work and commitment to the community, given this day of May by the Speaker of the House, Bob DeLeo, and by your State Representative, Todd Smola. Politician, we hate pictures. I just want you to know that. We do it for them. So, And to add to the flag that's going to be going on this flagpole, we are giving you your first official state flag from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, the proud state that we all live in, that is now the home of this wonderful new facility. Congratulations to the town of Palmer, every single one of you that made this building a possibility. This is going to be something that we can look at and be proud of for many years to come. Thank you.
And thank you, Representative Smola, for the citation, for the kind words, for the Commonwealth flag, and both the American flag and the Commonwealth flag will be very proudly raised in just a few minutes. Next on the program, I'd like to call up Town Council President Philip Hebert. Our thanks to President Hebert and all the members of the Town Council. The project really started about 3 years ago with their approval of funds for the assessment study that we needed, and there's no vote that takes place, there's no construction that takes place unless it starts at the Town Council level with approval of the funds for the assessment study. So we're certainly grateful to the Council, President Hebert, for that. They always support the police department. We're all absolutely grateful for that. And in many endeavors that we encounter, we have a new fleet of cruisers. We have new radio equipment that's coming in. Thanks to Charlie's hard work and the Council's approval, the officers have a new contract, and we obviously have a new building. So thank you very much, all of you. And it's my pleasure to bring to you now Council President Philip Hebert.
I'll make up your time for you there, Chief. First of all, again, thank you, Chief. I know this has been a long time coming. You've managed to make this come to fruition. You've also managed to get a truck driver to wear a tie. I got to tell you, I'm really not great at speeches, but what I can say is I am grateful to have been graced to be able to be part of the team that made this well overdue new police department happen. I want to thank all of the committees that gave their time and energy, all the police officers, town council that helped pull this together. Most of all, I want to thank the most important people that made this day happen. That's each and every one of you taxpayers out there. As you know, it took 3 times. Without the support of the businesses and the taxpayers of this town voting yes, this would have never happened. So give yourselves a big hand and thank you. You cannot believe what you have done. You gave these fine police officers, all the dispatchers, and the office people that work in these buildings such a morale boost, it's unreal. Imagine, as Todd and then pointed out, look behind you at them, I call them a shack, something you might see up in New Hampshire. Maybe Eric Duda will put a bid on the buildings there, bring them up to New Hampshire. The conditions in there were deplorable, to say the least. Leaky roofs, and they had to work day in and day out, work weekends, holidays, cramped space, leaky roof, but now they know that they are really appreciated. In a time when money was tight, you folks took the bullet for them. Thank all of you for doing what was right. God bless all of you. In closing, I'd like to say I am personally proud to see my name on the plaque inside the police department versus in the police log in the Palmer Journal. Thank you. And Chief, I hope you're not quite ready to retire yet. This town really appreciates you and needs you. God bless you. Thank you.
I really don't have a response for that last comment. But I guess to say, other than to say, I'm very glad, Phil, yes, that your name isn't in the police log either. All right. Let me just adjust this a little bit. I'm sorry. Next on the agenda is our town manager, Charlie Blanchard. And by way of introductions for Charlie, I mean, Senator Brewer and Todd's Representative Smola and even Phil mentioned that they give me credit for always believing that this would happen, but truth be told, that's not the truth. I actually had given up hope that we'd ever see a new police department over here in Palmer, especially during the course of my career. But that was until, however, Charlie Blanchard came to Palmer. He came with new ideas, new energy, a new plan on how not only to fund the construction, but how to get support from the community, which up to this point we were not able to do. He has worked tirelessly on this project and on every issue that has crossed his desk during his time here in Palmer. It's been a distinct pleasure to work with him as a town manager, and it is now my pleasure to introduce him as our next speaker.
Thank you very much. Thank you all. And as the last speaker between your desire to come in and see this building, I'll be very, very brief. I would like to take some time, though, to thank the people who really made this happy, starting with Marois Construction. Don and Joe and Dan Steele did an outstanding job. They and their subcontractors are the people that really, put the rubber to the road and actually do the construction. And we have Reinhardt Associates, both John and Mike, who did an outstanding job in the design and following through. This is the third project I've worked with John, and I think every project gets a little bit better, and this is certainly an example of that. We've got the owner's project manager, Tony and Chris, who work diligently to try to keep things on track, and they've done an outstanding job. We had Mark Cady, who was our expert in helping us with the communications and so forth. You may think that the communication tower looks a little funny, but actually it's been designed to have another 20 feet put on it in case we do get that regional dispatch that we're looking forward to. It's just very, very important that all these people have come together. We certainly couldn't have done it without an outstanding building committee. And they've done a great job. They've met at least every month, sometimes more than that, to get this thing through. And I certainly have to express my appreciation to Chief Frederick, because as chair of the committee and also the person who day to day looked at everything here and made sure that things were done right and followed through on all the change orders and so forth, he really has put an outstanding job together, and he's done a great job over the course of the past year. Next, of course, we have the town council, and the town council really did provide the leadership to provide the plans to go ahead with the feasibility study, to approve the project, and we certainly owe them a real debt of appreciation for their work in making this happen. Lastly, of course, as everyone has said, the real people behind this are all of you people, the voters who approved this project, who approved the debt exclusion, and made this a reality. And while there really hasn't been any state funds or state grants available, due to primarily, I think, the stewardship of Senator Brewer as chairman of the Ways and Means Committee, the state has an excellent bond rating, a AA bond rating. And they have a special program where if a community can prove that it has the financial stability, they can qualify to have the borrowing done on that state bonding capacity, which we were able to do. So actually what happened, I have some good news for the taxpayers. When we originally estimated this project, we thought we would be paying $700,000 for the first year's debt service. Because of the ability we had to be able to use the state's bond rating, first year's payment is only $584,000, a savings of almost $120,000. And over the course of the project, it'll reduce the interest cost by nearly $1 million on it. So it's an outstanding job, and it's a credit, I think, to the legislators we have, Senator Brewer, Representative Smoller, and those who have provided such good stability to the state budget. With that, I certainly appreciate you all being here, and I look forward to touring the building with you, and thanks very much for your support on this.
Thank you, Charlie. Next, we're going to conduct the ribbon cutting. So if I could have the members of the Police Station Building Committee and the members of the Town Council and our legislators, if you could kind of make your way around to your left and behind the ribbon, and we'll try and squeeze everybody in there. Yeah. All right, squeeze in and make sure everybody can see you there. No, I'm good. I'm good.
Chief, come on. You guys want to take my guidance on this? Faces forward on the count. You got your scissors ready? The people that are holding the yellow thing, you got to hold them really firm. All right?
He's done this before.
Everybody face forward. On a count of three. 1, 2, 3.
All right. Yay! That's terrific. Very good.
Just to let you know, those two officers worked until the wee hours of the morning practicing this routine, so it should go flawlessly. That's not entirely true. I only gave him the key to the flagpole this morning. So. And I'd ask you now at this point to please join me in the recitation of the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Yes, that's great. I just have a few closing remarks, and then we'll do the benediction, and then we'll start the tour. First of all, actually, I want to dedicate my entire remarks with thanks to the many people who had a role in bringing this project to fruition. And as every speaker that has ever spoken to the public ever says, I'm sure I'm going to forget somebody, so in advance, my apologies. Please forgive me. I'm getting old. The mind isn't as sharp as it was. No offense to our seniors, of course. First of all, as many of our speakers have indicated, we need to thank the voters and the taxpayers in the town of Palmer. You came out in record numbers for our debt exclusion override vote, and I was really overwhelmed when the final tally came in and we were successful by nearly 400 votes. That's amazing. So thanks to all of you, and please give yourselves a round of applause. Officers, it would be our pleasure to give you folks a round of applause. I'd also thank the members of the Palmer Police Department. They work tirelessly and courageously for the community every day. I believe that with or without a new police facility, you'd be hard-pressed to find a more dedicated and capable group of law enforcement professionals and public safety professionals in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. So even though I probably don't say it often enough, I'm very proud to work with you folks each and every day. Thanks again to the Police Building Committee, the Police Station Building Committee, and our Police Department Building Committee. Thank you, too, to our cleanup crew who worked here yesterday to get the building all spick and span. Sergeant Burns, Brian McNally, Ray Tenzer, Tyler Allen, Tammy Pihota. We have an intern working with us at the moment from Western New England College. He was supposed to be here today. Colin Rogers, are you here somewhere? No, he was kind of the captive audience as far as cleaning goes. So, thank you to Colin. I think when he signed on here to be an intern, I think cleaning the police station was the last thing he expected, but he took it all in stride. So, thank you, Colin. We need to thank some of our folks who are getting the old building, putting all the files and equipment and things together to get ready to move over here. Again, Chris Burns, Catherine Costa, one of my dispatchers who unfortunately can't be here today because she's sitting in the old building dispatching. So maybe she's listening to WARE radio. So if you are, Catherine, thank you very much. And once again, our intern, Colin Rogers. Just to expand a little bit on our police station building committee, there's a group of residents who committed themselves for the last 2.5 years to see the project through to its successful completion. It's been a pleasure to work with each and every one of you. I made some new friends, some new acquaintances. Each of you brought a special skill with your life experience to our committee, and I was very proud to work with you during this project. My thanks also to the Palmer Police Association, because even though they're not here yet, what you're going to see in the very near future is a black granite monument that's going to be on the sidewalk near where the officers are standing, dedicated in memory of the past members of the Palmer Police Department. So that should be here fairly soon. I understand it's coming from India. Is that right? So it's on the boat from India. And also they donated funds, and you'll see as you tour throughout the building, the officers will be inside to give you some information about the different parts of the building. But the Police Association also donated about $8,000 so that we can purchase fitness equipment for the fitness room that's downstairs. In addition to the other townsfolk that I also thank, Charlie and the town council, I'd like to recognize Andrew Golis, the executive assistant to the town council. Andrew is a very fine, young, energetic young man, and he's always very accommodating and helpful. So thank you very much, Andrew. As Charlie said, John McMillan and Mike Lizzie from Reinhardt, they brought their expertise as far as building design, and John's company is known for their cost-effective design, so we were very happy to have him on board, especially for that skill in and of itself. But overall, it's been a pleasure to work with them. Joe Marois, as Charlie said, it was a pleasure to work with their construction company, in particular, because I don't see Joe every day. You sent one of the best men that you could down here, Joe, by way of Don Blargen, to be with us, because, and stand up, Don, I'm sorry. Don is the guy that spends every day over here representing Marois Construction. He's the site supervisor. Always goes above and beyond. He has a remarkable dedication to the project, a great work ethic, and it's been my pleasure to work with him for the last year on this project. Chris Lawson and Tony DeLuzio from CDR McGuire, my pleasure to work with them. I've known Tony for several years. He was with a different company back in 1999 and 2000 when we were back then looking in building a new police station. So I'm happy that Tony was on board for our completion of the project. And Chris Lawson, a very competent mediator. That's the best thing I can say about Chris, because and I'm told in as far as construction projects go, sometimes construction meetings can get a little bit contentious. Very happy to say that really hasn't happened in this project. Everybody has been a gentleman. We advocate, obviously, for our own interests, but we're always gentlemen. And but sometimes when there's a disagreement, we need a guy like Chris to step in and mediate. And he always comes in with Solomon-like wisdom to get things settled. So thank you, Chris. Special thanks to our friends at M-PACT, Bruce Henricks, Ryan Shepard. Those of you who have access to channel 15 on your cable TV throughout the day today, starting, I believe, at 7 o'clock this morning, as I said, Bruce, until 3 o'clock this afternoon, they're running a continuous loop of all the videos that they shot within the last year, chronicling the construction process. So that's running today. It's run throughout the last year. It's been my pleasure to work with Ryan through that time, and Bruce, who spearheaded everything. He's always calling me with ideas about what we can do to make a better product in terms of the video. The first thing you should have done is got a better MC. But also, I need to recognize them, because as you as you tour through the building, you'll see that we have some very nice television sets in the building. There are 9 state-of-the-art LCD televisions, smart TVs, and those were all donated by M-PACT. So our thanks to Bruce and for the M-PACT Board of Directors for doing that. Special thanks to WARE Radio, Bruce Marshall and Andy Bukowski. They've had me on the air periodically throughout the course of the construction project to update you folks about the status of the project, and we were very happy to work with them. And again, there's a live broadcast going on as we speak of the project, so that's terrific. I'd like to thank my brother, Trooper Tom Frederick, retired. He's here taking pictures today to memorialize the event. I'd like to give special recognition to Bob and Jane Boyle, my friends who came down today all the way from Poland, Maine. They were the co-chairs of our original police station building committee back in 1999, and they clearly had more belief that the project was going to happen at some point in time than I did, because they always supported it. I kept in touch with them periodically throughout the last dozen or so years, and they came down for the groundbreaking ceremony. They drove this morning to be down here. So, and just to give you an example of how confident they were, early on in the project when we actually started the construction, I don't know if any of you drove by, but there was a street sign out near the temporary road that was over there. And actually, let me show it to you. Oh, there it is. It was probably there for a week before I saw it, before I noticed it. That's my powers of observation apparently aren't what they used to be, but lest you think that this is egotistical of me, that's not why I'm presenting it to you. Well, first of all, I blame Joey Sawicki from the Highway Department. I thought he was being mischievous by putting this up over there, and he's giving me a little dig. But this sign was actually made by Bob and Jane had this sign made about 99, 2000 for the first project. Obviously, our vote wasn't successful, but they so much believed that it would happen someday that they saved this sign, even through their move into Maine. And then when they came down for the groundbreaking, they, on the QT, approached Tony DeLuzio and Don and asked them if they could do it very quietly without me knowing, if they would put this sign up on a street sign over by the temporary road for construction. So I appreciate your sense of humor, guys, and thank you very much for believing in us for so long. Next, I'd like to recognize Dan and Iris Carden, folks right over there. I'm sure it's fair to say, and you guys certainly can disagree with me, that you guys weren't overly thrilled about the potential tax increase that might have come along with this project, but to their credit, just like a lot of you here today, Dan and Iris took the time to educate themselves about what our needs were, what a modern police facility looks like. So they actually came in for a tour of the building. They went with me to the town of Belchertown, and we toured their police station as I showed them what a modern facility looks like versus what we had over here. And I'm very pleased to say that once they saw the comparison, they were on board with the project 100%. And not only did they vote in support of it, but they even wrote a letter to the editor in the newspaper and online to support us. So thank you to Dan and Iris and the many of you that did the same thing. My friends Ron and Virginia Maznicki are here today. They actually were in Florida until just recently, and they left early to come back to be here for the ceremony today. I thank them for their assistance in helping us procure the fitness equipment for the exercise room. Pathfinder Regional Vocational Technical High School. First of all, and as soon as I get this done and you get to tour the building, over in the garage in the back of the building, you'll find cookies and fruit in the back there. And those are all compliments of the culinary arts students of the Pathfinder staff. So please give them a round of applause. Eric Duda from Pathfinder, and we owe him a debt of thanks, in the automotive and auto body shops. We've been working with them over the last couple of years. They actually repainted the fleet of our cruisers, which formerly were dark blue in color. They repainted all the older cars black and white, which is the color scheme that we wanted to go to. And they even helped us, to your left, you'll see that military Humvee there that we got through a military surplus program. They even painted that and did a fine job. So make sure that you take a look at the Humvee during your tour of the building today. And once again, thanks to Eric and everybody at Pathfinder. Joe Sa and his sister Anna from Chamorro's Bakery. And again, in the back over there, you'll find a bunch of wonderful pastry. And because this is a police event, you will also find donuts in the back that are complimentary. And that was, again, donated by Chamorro's Bakery. Yes, indeed. Please applaud. Thank you. I'd like to thank our fire partners in the public safety side, the Bonsville Fire Department, Chief Scott Gustafson and his crew, and they donated the use of the chairs here today, so thank you very much. The Palmer Fire Department, Chief Alan Roy, I've been working with Alan on and off on the fire alarm system that's in the building and the fire alarm receivers that will allow us to receive remote alarms from the different businesses and schools and things in town. Chief Scott Turner of the Three Rivers Fire Department is here today with part of his crew. Scott has been a frequent visitor to our facility because he has to do the inspections and things, and he's offered some great ideas and things that we could do to make the building better in terms of that. So thank you to Scott and the Three Rivers Fire Department staff. Quabog Hills Chamber of Commerce, Lenny Week, president. They gave us those very big scissors that we used. So couldn't have a groundbreaking without big scissors, right? It would kind of be tacky if we had just a little pair. So thank you, Lenny. We have several visiting dignitaries from the public safety field, police field. First of all, my friend Ray Zukowski from the town of Montague. He's a retired police chief. Raise your hand there, Ray. Where are you? There you go, right in the back over there in the center. And I recognize Ray because when he was the chief in Montague, they went through a similar building project for a police station over there, and I made a couple of trips up to Montague, and he gave me all the ins and outs and the do's and don'ts about how to build a police building, so I thank you for the advice, Ray. In the front over here, we have Philip Adams, and Phil is the executive director of the Western Mass Chiefs of Police Association, and a pretty good guy. And he does a lot of things for the association, a lot of things for you, including arranging all the training for all of our part-time police officers throughout the Western region, in addition to keeping our association on track, so we thank Phil. I saw Chief Tom Charette of the Chicopee Police Department. There he is over there, Tom. Good to see you here today. Some of our vendors that have a role in what's going on here today. First of all, I saw Sean from Pinnacle Wireless. They're putting on our Motorola consoles and things. There you are. David Bell from TriTech Software, our computer software, was going to be here. I don't know if he made it. Are you here, David? No? Don Elliott, our emergency manager, is here. He's very happy because he has a brand new office inside, as you see as you tour the building. And I would be certainly remiss if I didn't thank my lovely wife, Mary Lee. Where is she? Oh, there she is. Who is always supportive and very forgiving because I've been conspicuously remiss in my duties at home for the last year or so. So thank you very much. So before we call Reverend Taylor, Prestwood-Taylor here for the benediction, I'd like to, again, thank you all for your attendance here today. Thank you for your support. We'll let you know that as soon as we conclude, the building is open for your viewing. We have the light refreshments available in the back of the building, in the garage. Once again, compliments of the Palmer Police Association, Pathfinder, and Chimura's Bakery. So without further ado, Reverend Bruce T. Prestwood-Taylor of the Second Congregational Church for the benediction.
I think there are 3 people in Bondsville that weren't thanked, but that's about it. That's about it. And Father Stefan, you may be Senator Brewer's favorite priest, but my son dated his daughter in high school.
I cannot do that.
You are a blessed people. You're celebrating a new chapter in the life of Palmer and its villages. And by your presence here today, you honor our police officers, whose call it is to protect and serve. They are the ones who, on our behalf, attend to the human condition in its most tragic, difficult, and broken forms. Thank them when you get the opportunity, because their work makes this place hallowed ground. And you who shall work within this building, know that you have the support of the community with all the gratitude, respect, and affection that you deserve, that you richly deserve for who you are and what you do to bring peace, serve justice, and offer compassion. May God richly bless every single person who enters this building. And together, may we be a people of peace, hope, and compassion. Go in peace. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend. And you were right. My apologies to those 3 people in Bondsville whom I forgot. And I also forgot a couple of other people. And Senator Brewer mentioned that in July you'll see me over there at the church wearing another hat. I'm a budding musician, and along that line, I want to thank and welcome several of our friends who know me in that uniform over there rather than the police chief's uniform. My friends Happy Louie and Julie Dussault, former Palmer residents who now live in Wilbraham, and we miss them. And several others, including my friend Mark Clark, who was a polka DJ, actually, and he came down all the way from Cohoes, New York, north of Albany, to be here with us today. So welcome, everybody. You know who you are, Bob and Marie, Joe and Lynn, all you folks, Mike and Debbie. Thank you all for being here today. And that concludes our service, so please feel free to enjoy the refreshments in the back, walk through the building for the tour. You'll see, and you just heard him recently, we have Officer Sean Ford and his K-9 buddy who just finished their training yesterday. He's ready to deploy for patrol. So again, thank you all so very much.